Carolyn Murphy. I'm here shooting the 2005 Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue.
She was the face America trusted, the perfect blonde beauty in every magazine, every billboard, every dream campaign of the late 90s. But at the exact moment the world believed she had everything, Carolyn Murphy quietly stepped back. And no one truly understood why. There was no public scandal, no explosive headline, just a sudden silence that left fashion insiders whispering. How did one of the highest paid supermodels of her generation disappear from the catwalks at the very peak of her fame? And what private battle was she fighting while the world was celebrating her perfection? Tonight we uncover the quiet storm behind the woman who never allowed the industry to see her break, even when her entire life was changing behind closed doors. Before the world saw her as the immaculate face of American beauty, Carolyn Murphy grew up far from any runway, in the quiet, shifting landscapes of Florida, where her life was shaped by two forces that rarely coexist. Her father's military discipline made her resilient, guarded, impossible to shake. Her mother's love for art and the natural world made her soft, intuitive, someone who felt life more deeply than she ever showed. She wasn't the loudest girl. She wasn't the one who dreamed of fame. She was the observant one, the girl who watched more than she spoke, who carried a calm intensity that made people turn twice without knowing why. Her childhood was filled with movement, new towns, new schools, new faces. Each transition taught her how to blend in without ever truly belonging. That quiet displacement would one day give her the unmistakable aura the fashion world fell in love with, a beauty that felt familiar yet distant, warm yet unreachable. When she was discovered as a teenager, it wasn't because she chased the spotlight. It was because the spotlight found her. Agencies saw the symmetry, the effortless poise, the almost sculptural stillness. They saw the perfect American girl. What they didn't see was the inner world she carried, a world she rarely let anyone inside. By the time she was 17, she was already traveling alone across continents, navigating casting rooms and fashion weeks while still trying to understand who she was. She learned early that in fashion, silence could be a shield. And for Carolyn, silence became survival. Those early years built the foundation of the woman she would become. Strong, yet private, poised, yet guarded, beautiful, yet unknowable. And when life later brought her into a storm she never asked for, it was these roots, the discipline, the calm, the instinct to retreat, that would define the choice she made when the world expected her to keep shining. When Carolyn Murphy arrived in New York in the mid-90s, the industry was in the middle of a quiet transformation. Heroin chic was everywhere. Angular faces, haunted expressions, bodies thin as shadows. But Carolyn walked in carrying an entirely different kind of beauty. Glowing, healthy, almost classic in a way fashion hadn't seen in years. She didn't chase attention. She didn't need to. The room shifted when she entered, not because she demanded it, but because her presence didn't feel like anyone else's. Her breakout came fast. Calvin Klein saw in her a softness that felt modern, a calm confidence that could turn a simple photograph into a story. Vogue followed, then Prada, then the covers that would make her unmistakable. Clean, sculpted portraits where her stillness became her superpower. While other girls played up attitude, Carolyn gave something far rarer, a sense of depth. By 1998, she was no longer just a rising star. She was the future of the American beauty ideal, a title fashion editors didn't hand out lightly. That same year, she was named VH1 Vogue's Model of the Year, a moment that placed her shoulder to shoulder with the biggest names of the era. Yet fame never seemed to stick to her the way it did others. She didn't chase the party scene, didn't chase the flash of paparazzi. She held her distance, protecting a private life she rarely allowed outsiders to touch. Then came the call that changed everything. Estée Lauder, one of the most powerful beauty houses in the world, chose her to be the new face of the brand. The contract was monumental, the kind of deal that secured both legacy and stability. Overnight, Carolyn became the embodiment of elegance for millions of women. Her image, serene and luminous, appeared in magazines, airports, department stores. She became a symbol of aspiration, perfection, control. But hidden beneath the polish was a woman trying to balance two worlds: the global ideal projected onto her face and the quiet life she tried to nurture away from the lens. She was at the height of everything: visibility, influence, financial success. Yet the closer she got to the top, the more the outside world tightened its grip on her private life. And it was exactly during this chapter, when everything shone the brightest, that the storm she never asked for began to form, quietly and steadily, just outside the public eye. At the height of her fame, Carolyn Murphy was everywhere, on runways, in global campaigns, on the walls of every department store in America. But success on the outside often hides the fractures forming within. And Carolyn's breaking point came quietly, without drama, without headlines, without the spectacle that usually follows a supermodel's fall. In 2002, during a period when the industry expected her to dominate even harder, she made a choice that surprised everyone. She stepped back, not with an announcement, not with a goodbye, just absence. Behind that silence was a personal transition she never turned into a public narrative. Her marriage to Jake Schroeder had ended, and with it came the emotional weight that only those who have lived through the unraveling of a family can understand. There were no public interviews, no tabloid exposés, no televised confessions. Carolyn simply protected the one thing she valued more than the career the world idolized: her daughter. While the industry kept moving, new faces, new campaigns, new trends, Carolyn pulled herself inward. The invitations kept coming, the offers didn't stop. But she did. She retreated to a life far from the cameras, choosing stability over spotlight, routine over runways. For the first time since she was a teenager, she allowed herself to breathe without the pressure of perfection. And because she never spoke publicly about this chapter, the world filled in the silence with assumptions. Some thought she had burned out. Others believed she had disappeared. But the truth was quieter, simpler, and far more human. She chose to prioritize healing, to rebuild, to be present for her child in a way the relentless pace of fashion had never allowed. And fashion insiders still remember those years as the Carolyn Murphy quiet period, a time when one of the biggest names of the late 90s vanished from the rhythm of runway seasons and magazine cycles. Not because she failed, not because she fell from grace, but because she chose her private life over an industry that rarely lets women choose anything at all. And while the world wondered where she had gone, Carolyn was learning something she had never been given the time to feel: what comes after survival and what it means to return on her own terms. Carolyn Murphy didn't return to fashion with a grand statement or a dramatic reinvention. Her comeback was like everything else in her life: deliberate, minimal, shaped by intention rather than noise. While many supermodels rely on spectacle, Carolyn re-entered the industry with the same calm clarity that once made her unforgettable. As her daughter grew older, Carolyn slowly allowed herself to step back into the lens, not because she needed fame, not because she missed the applause, but because she finally had the space, emotionally and personally, to revisit the world she once dominated. When she walked onto sets again in her early 30s, photographers noticed something had changed. The beauty was the same, but the presence was deeper, lived in, grounded. And the industry felt it. Estée Lauder never let her go. While other brands cycled through phases every few years, Carolyn's partnership endured, becoming one of the longest-running beauty contracts of her era. It wasn't just about her looks. It was about the authenticity she carried, the quiet strength she brought, the sense that she had survived life and come out softer, not harder. Editorials began calling her timeless. Designers cast her not as the girl she once was, but as the woman she had become. She graced Vogue covers again, walked for Ralph Lauren, appeared in campaigns that valued maturity, elegance, and presence, qualities the industry had too often ignored. What made her return powerful wasn't the visibility, it was the sovereignty. She worked on her terms. She protected her privacy. She accepted what aligned with her life, not what the industry demanded. In a world that often punishes women for stepping away, Carolyn redefined what it meant to pause and what it meant to come back without apology. Her redemption wasn't a rise from scandal or a recovery from downfall. It was the quiet reclaiming of her life, her identity, and her narrative. A reminder that strength doesn't always roar. Sometimes it simply returns, calmly, confidently, exactly when it's ready. Carolyn Murphy's legacy isn't measured by how loudly she lived, but by how gracefully she endured. In an industry built on noise, she remained a whisper, steady, luminous, impossible to forget. While many supermodels carved their names through spectacle, Carolyn shaped hers through presence. The kind of presence that doesn't fade with trends or seasons because it was never manufactured to begin with. Her impact goes beyond her campaigns, her runways, her iconic beauty. She became the blueprint for a different kind of fashion icon, one who proves that longevity comes not from constant exposure, but from authenticity, boundaries, and the courage to step back when the world demands you stay visible. Younger models still study her work, the poise, the stillness, the way she could tell a whole story without moving more than an inch. Photographers call her one of the purest faces of her era. Brands still echo her aesthetic, natural, serene, effortless, because she made simplicity feel powerful long before it became a trend. And as the years passed, her private life became part of her legend. She didn't need to broadcast her resilience, she lived it quietly. She didn't need to reclaim her narrative, her choices spoke louder than any interview. She became a symbol of something rare in fashion, a woman who refused to be consumed by the world that adored her. Carolyn Murphy's true legacy is this: a reminder that beauty is not just what you show, it's what you protect, it's what you survive. And sometimes the most enduring icons are the ones who choose to disappear just long enough to come back as themselves.